So it seems the pump is here. As you can see, the market is green. So we are going to talk about what happened, why the market is green, why everything is going up, for example, like Solana. And as usual, I brought you one coin which has huge potential due to some modifications in its tokenization in the last couple of months, and it didn't pump yet, or it didn't rip yet. So we are going to talk about that as well. But first, let's see why the market pumped. So yesterday's pump is obviously a reaction, something like a phew, because the Fed stopped or didn't raise any rates anymore. It seems that we reached the plateau, which means that at one point we are going to go down. Now, the thing is that we are still not going down, and usually when it starts, I mean, the rates start to drop and the Fed starts to take it down quarter by quarter, we can also expect a crash, because that is how the market reacts for some reason. Right now we are just enjoying the euphoria because that is what the plateau means. That is what we think will happen. The Fed cannot tell us that, okay, we are not going to raise any more rates. They will always say that, okay, we are watching closely, and don't be too happy about it because we might raise it later. However, we do know that that will not happen for the simple fact that next year is election time and they will need the money. They need to make some money for the companies because they didn't make any money in the last 1 or 2 years, which obviously is needed for the election sponsorships, you know, and all kind of fiat infusion to the political parties. So that is what I think. Obviously not financial advice, my advice. However, right now we can enjoy and we can check what is going to happen next, because as you can see, we have several coins, altcoins and Bitcoin obviously, which are pumping. Now we are going to check first Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's price is obviously the most important. Second to that is the Bitcoin's dominance, because that's how we can predict what the altcoins will do. And by the way, S&P 500 also is having one of the best day of its life because it just pumped 1% yesterday. Now let's just check what happened with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin entered a very important area here. It broke the 35,000 resistance. I mean, it broke it before, but right now it seems that it is truly through that, and we are entering this zone. Now this can be a consolidation zone, but before it starts to consolidate, we might hit the $48,000, because at this point right now, since we broke this resistance, okay, and we are kind of through that, and Bitcoin is going up against the next resistance, which is the $48,000. Now, if we reach the $48,000, it will be a bit of an early Christmas, and I don't know when that will happen. However, at these market conditions, with this euphoria, with this many people entering the market, because yes, now people are entering the market, money is coming into the market, so the market caps will start to go up, and with that the prices, obviously we can expect, or we could expect, that Bitcoin will just start and jump to 48, and from there it starts its consolidation phase. I do think that we have high chances to reach this level until mid of December, and maybe after that until maybe February or March we will consolidate between the $48,000 and $40,000. I don't know for 100% if that is going to happen, but it is totally achievable. In the meantime, what is happening is that the Bitcoin dominance is going up, stops, going up, stops. As you can see, if I switch back to the daily, you can see that the Bitcoin dominance is writing a nice uptrend. Now, why this is important for us? This is important because this is the chart which will tell us when the altcoins will start to rip, and this is not the rip. I mean, the plus 20-40% is not what altcoins can do when the conditions are in their favor. When Bitcoin's dominance will stop somewhere, maybe this is the one, and starts to go down again, like when it did here, for example, that is when we will see a true alt season, and that means 5x, 10x and 50x for the altcoins, 100 and 200x for the small coins, for the meme coins, for those which have no utility, just a huge community, okay? And that is why when you want to make sure that you are positioning yourself correctly. That's what I'm doing as well. Now let's talk a bit about risk and reward ratio for beginners especially. Now if you are not very experienced, then you must be very cautious, and I think the best is to invest in coins. I mean, I would invest in coins which are well known. Okay, let's say the top 50, top 100 maximum, because anything after that can be a huge scam. However, there are also good coins which you can find, and they are not in the top 50. And this is where I'm coming back to the coin I mentioned, and that is Gala, okay? Because Gala Games had an interesting run, okay? It went up in the last cycle to 0.7. However, the tokenomics were not the best. And if I go back to the CoinGecko website to Gala, as you can see right now, it says that the max supply can be 50 billion tokens, and the circulating supply is 27.5 billion tokens. Now, why this is interesting? You would say that, okay, 50% is in circulating and 50% is still can be just dumped on the market, which is not great. Obviously, it's not bad at all, because there are some tokens which have only like 20% circulating supply on the market. But with Gala, something else happened as well. You know, when it went up here, people who bought Gala nodes, they could make 100% yield. And that was by dumping more or minting more and more coins and just giving it to them. Obviously, the node operators with the rewards, they just dumped everything on the market. So this was not very sustainable. It had the same flaw as any Web3 game. You know, when the rewards are coming in the native token, the native token is like inflated enormously. And when everybody wants to cash out, wants to take some profits, well, then the token's price collapses, and that is what happened with Gala. And at that time, only 10% of the maximum supply was on the market. However, right now, it's officially on the CoinGecko is 50%, but that's not true, because Gala just burned, where it is, 21 billion, here it is, 21 billion tokens were burned, as you can see. So on-chain data shows that Web3 gaming company blah 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 burned an additional 15 billion tokens, bringing the total of burned tokens to nearly 21 billion. So out of that 50 billion tokens, which they said it's going to be the maximum supply, they have 27.5 already on the market. They burned 21 billion because of this, because they also obviously want to bring back the Gala token to its maximum potential. Therefore, right now, what we don't know where it is, or maybe it's with the team, probably with the team, is only 1.5 billion token, and that makes 90% of the tokens on the market. 90% of the tokens of the Gala tokens are in a circulating supply. And obviously, when all the tokens are circulating already and the price is that low, and Gala obviously is a big project, it's a good project, it's a very renowned project and also popular. You can see that it's on 212,000 people's watchlist only on CoinGecko. Then if you just think about the demand and supply, and thinking about the circulating supply, which is huge, so there is not much more tokens to be minted, to be dumped on the market, and from here the demand can only increase because we are just entering the bull run. I think Gala is not a bad buy at this moment. So yeah, think about that and do your own research, obviously. So as you can see right now, here we are on the daily, and Gala just went up as everything else. It broke a very important resistance here, so this was the icebreaker. Right now we are in a consolidation. It didn't break out. It has an overbought status on the daily, on the RSI, but I think this will reset. However, in these conditions, when everything is ripping, the RSI is not that important. Okay, it becomes important after some time, but the RSI can be overbought as much as you want, because when everything is going up, the RSI strategy and the RSI indicator is not working anymore, because overbought, oversold doesn't really matter. So obviously, and I'm talking up to beginners, this is the next stop, the 0.06, that is a 6x already, and this was the all-time high. Now if you think back what I just told you about the circulating supply, Gala reached this price target, the 0.8, with 10% of their circulating supply on the market. Right now it has 90%, more than 90%. Therefore the potential is pretty big. It's almost a 40x from this point only to the all-time high. And we know that usually, or many times, tokens which are not overrun, which are not veterans, okay, which still have some wiggle in them, and Gala Games is part of the Web3 gaming, obviously, well, I think the 40x is achievable. So it makes it a goodish buy. The other one which I found out about, you know, not too long ago, is obviously Verasity. Verasity is at a good place to start to pump. As you can see, it had an all-time high around 0.08, 0.7. It is still at a 40 or 50 million market cap. So when you check how was the all-time high, you know, and what it can achieve, you should also check what is the market cap, because if the market cap is around 20-50 million, then coins which start to pump reach 100-200 million very easily. If Verasity would reach 100 million, that would be a 2x, obviously, which is not big. However, they are partnered with Google Cloud, and they already have their own revenue. So I think for that, 5 billion market cap is kind of a no-brainer, actually, and that would make them to a 100x. Now I don't want to go that far away. We don't know how much money will go into the crypto market, but yeah, if Verasity just goes on the same path as eGold, then yeah, it will be a very good buy. So we are watching Bitcoin, we are watching the dominance, we are watching what the altcoins are doing, but and I'm not saying that this is not going, and I'm not saying that there is not going to be a crash, because after the Fed starts to drop the rates, there will be a crash. But the main question is, from where it crashes, okay? Maybe there will be a crash of 30%, but from where? Is it going to be from 30k, 50k, 60k? Because if it crashes 20% or 30% from 50k, that is still at $35,000, and maybe at that time or at that point you already took some profits. So be careful. It is not advised usually to go all in. Obviously I'm not doing that. However, buying some tokens which didn't break out yet, which have a good narrative, which have a good utility, which have a good big community, always has a bigger potential than just staying on the sidelines. You cannot win if you don't participate. So yeah, subscribe, and I see you in the next one.